best friend. So you remember I showed you this video from Kalayi where I made this bang wig, and I told y'all in the video I might get tired of it. Well, I got tired of it and I ended up turning it into a closure wig. Alright, so if you want to see how I did that, then please continue to watch. So I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can. This is the wig. She has a lot of movement. She has her luster. She's just still very healthy. So I just was over the bangs. So I wanted to switch the bangs for a lace closure, okay? So this lace closure came from Kalayi. I did order this from their website. I just decided that instead of using a frontal, and you can do this method for a frontal, but it just depends on how you do your guidelines. It's the same thing. So I ended up ordering a closure instead so I could do this method and show you guys how to just get the use of your hair in your wigs, okay? So in my other video, I told you guys I made my wig and I placed my guidelines just like how I would normally do it if I was making a closure wig. So because if it came to a point where I got tired of my bangs, I could go in and cut that closure area out that I made with the sewing machine and add a lace closure in there, sis. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So I'm cutting out the area, the closure piece that I made for this wig. This wig didn't have any type of lace on it whatsoever. So when I did the measurements for my initial wig, I measured out a 6x6 closure area. But I forgot that I did a 6x6 closure area. When I went on Kalayi's website, I ordered a 4x4. So now I need to structure my cap to house this 4x4. And so I was like, how could I do this? Like, how could I make this easy for me to make my wig look seamless, okay? Because my closure is smaller than the actual hole that's in my actual wig, alright? So basically what I did is I got another wig cap. I use spandex mesh caps because they're very breathable, and I put my closure behind the elastic band that's on that mesh cap. And the reason why I did that is because my original wig that you're going to see already have the mesh elastic band on there. So if I added another one, because we're going to merge the two caps together, it will look weird and it will look bulky around my hairline, and that's not what I want. So you want to put it behind the elastic band, that thick band right there, because we're going to cut that off at the end of this video. So after everything is sewn down, this is what my closure on my cap looks like. And now we're just about to mesh both of the wig caps together. So what I did was I added the closure back onto my blockhead because we're going to mesh the caps together. So I'm going to make sure it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to just sew the rest of the bundles, these bundles right here, onto the closure. So this is basically the same method as, like, you know, when we used to wear U-parts back in the day. Like, well, not back in the day, but people still wear U-parts. But it's just like a U-part. You're taking your U-part and you're connecting it to your closure. But because my closure is small, there's going to be a gap. And I'm going to place 2 tracks around this gap and close her in, and she's going to be fine. So you want to sew everything together like I'm doing right now, and then you want to sew the U part to the actual wig cap. All right, and then after you sew that together, you want to sew 2 tracks to the cap as well, just to make sure that that gap is completely filled in. And once it's completely filled in, you can cut off the excess cap underneath, and when you cut it off, you will not be able to clock what's going on underneath your wig, because it's going to look super seamless, and you won't know where it started and where it ended. And that's what I did. But if I had a 6x6 closure, I wouldn't have to do all of these steps. But because my closure was too small, I had to fill it in with some extra tracks in order to close in that gap, because it wouldn't have fit perfectly. It would have been like very gappy, or maybe it'll probably made my wig a little bit too small for me. And so this was the best way that I could figure out how to do this, and this was my first time ever doing this method, and I think it's really cool, especially if you have a wig and you want to change out the frontal or the closure. You do the exact same way. So let's say I'm wearing this wig right here, that's the closure, and I wore it down, like, you know, and the closure needs to be replaced. Just cut the closure out and put a new one in. And you could do the same thing with the frontal. Like, so if I wanted to put a frontal on this, I would have designed the wig when I did my guidelines to house a frontal, and I would have closed it in a different way. So when I went back in, I could have just easily cut that out and then put a frontal on and do it that way. But yeah, this is a wig I cut, and I'm gonna cut the rest of it out. So you see, when I said there's going to be an extra cap, that's the reason why, because there's a cap already on this wig where the bundles are. And so if I would have left that cap on there, it would have just been real bulky. So I'm going to just cut the rest of the cap off. And basically, that's the end of this video. If you guys have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comment section. I will be down there answering them. I will leave all the information to the hair that I got from Kalayi and the closure that I also purchased from the company as well in the description box, because just in case if you guys want to do this method. Now, if you do the measurements accordingly, you can easily take off your closure and put your bang area back on there. But because I bought a smaller closure, my little bang areas won't fit on there properly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye best friends.